Hello, I hope you are well. I'm going to be starting a new channel on my series. It's completely random, but I'm going to be reacting to the American show Sister Wives. So it's a reality TV show. I'm just going to come on, talk about the different episodes. Today, I'm going to give you the backstory into the Sister Wives world and my opinions on that. And then I'm going to react to the new series trailer. We're on season 20. We're trapped. They've got us in a chokehold right now because so much is going on in the series. Last series was absolutely crazy. I do find some of the episodes are filler episodes, which are annoying. So I'll get on here and talk about them. But I just like my channel to be a cozy place where you can unwind. I've got book reviews, I've got discussions, and now just we're following along a little TV series, just having a chat like I'm on FaceTime. And I'm like, did you just see that episode? Because no one in my actual life watches Sister Wives or has any interest in it at all. And so I just need someone to vent and talk about it with. So Sister Wives, if you don't know, it's a series where a man has 4 wives. It's a reality series. And basically the family has kind of been torn apart recently. So going back to the beginning, our main character in this is Cody. And Cody married a woman called Mary. And then he married another woman called Janelle. Janelle had previously been married. She was divorced and she didn't have any children. And he went on to have 1 child with Mary. He then had children with Janelle. He then married another woman called Christine and had children with Christine. And they were all living together in a house. And I believe Cody, Mary, and Janelle all went out to work every day. And Christine was the one that was at home looking after all the children in the basement. So they lived in a big house, and I think her bit of it was kind of the basement area. And so that's where she would look after the other women's children there in the house, and that's how the family worked, and it worked quite successfully for quite a few years. He then met a much younger woman, Robin. She enters, and then they get this reality TV show, and the whole thing really starts. And a lot of things that they've told us recently are stuff that happened before the reality TV show. So they were already living this happy life, is what they would say in the other series. Is we all lived together in one house, 3 wives, 1 man. It all kind of weirdly worked, but there was jealousy and there was issues between the wives. Then they decided that it got a bit too much, the jealousy, and he swaps. So like one night with one woman, another with another. That's kind of how they work it out. So they'd all have equal time, and they all got their own houses, but their houses were in a cul-de-sac. So they all lived opposite each other so that he could go from house to house. All the kids could play out together in the street. It was this idyllic story. He met this woman called Robin. She's much younger. She already had 3 children from a previous marriage, and he went on to have 2 more children with her. And it, for many years, was this idyllic family that are fighting the government to make polygamy legal. And to adopt Robin's 3 children, he had to divorce his first wife, Mary. So he was only legally married to one of them, which was Mary. He then had to legally divorce her, marry Robin, and then he could adopt her 3 children. So it was this lovely story when in the series, when we were watching it, that he wants these children to have him as their father, and that's what they want as well. And it's this beautiful family coming together, and they've got all these other, so he's got like 1 million kids, obviously. He's got 4 wives, so they've all coming together, and it's this found family thing. And it's all beautiful. And for years, it was a Gilmore Girl vibes. It was the kids are playing. Maybe there's a bit of conflict because someone's distant family member has died, so they're all rallying round that sister wife to make sure she's okay. And then maybe there's conflict with a teenager is kind of rebelling, so they're all giving their input and trying to help that situation out. Then they were rallying against the government and trying to make polygamy legal, and they were saying we have to move from place to place because it is illegal, even though they weren't legally married to him. He wasn't committing a crime by being married to 4 women at all. But they all had spiritual marriages, which had no standing in law, but it was in their church. So they were saying a spiritual marriage is more than a physical, piece of paper to us, than a legal marriage, because it's our vow with God that we will spend the afterlife together. So it's like this huge deal, this spiritual marriage. So we don't need to be legally married to him because of spiritual marriage, and our religion means so much to us. The religion was always shady. We all thought they were Mormons. We weren't sure. It was never really said. Some people believed that he had to have 3 wives to go into heaven because that's a certain strain of Mormonism. But there's loads of different strains of Mormonism, and no one could really work out what form they belonged to, and they didn't really talk about it. They just said, like, they're very religious, they believe in God, that's how they raise their children, but they're not in polygamy for religious reasons. But then people thought maybe they were. Also, a lot of them were born into polygamy. So Cody's dad had multiple wives, and so, like, the others have all kind of got some polygamy link with them, apart from, I believe, Robin, who is the youngest wife. So they had all seen polygamy work in their actual lives and in their actual childhoods. So that's why they went to do it as adults themselves. So it was idyllic, but there was troubles. There was troubles not really with the relationships. I always got the feeling, and maybe I was naive, that they just got on really well and that it worked, and that they were kind of happy that he wasn't at their house all day long, and that he'd go off to another wife and they get a break and they get time to miss each other. And then when he came back to them, oh, you miss him because he's been away for a few days. And then I got my own independence because the women had their own houses. He would go from house to house. So their house was their domain. So they had their own independence in that way. And the women also worked. So they earned their own money, which they supported themselves in their houses and stuff. And so it wasn't like they were at home having loads of children and he was kind of the leader like it had begun. It was more, it was fair, and that it was, they did enjoy it before, but then it had become strained, and this was the perfect arrangement. Living in this cul-de-sac in Las Vegas was ideal. They'd found the key to polygamy. That's really what I felt all the series were saying. Then COVID happened, and with COVID he decided to spend more time at Robin's, and so they said, well, you're using COVID as an excuse, you can't come to house because you don't want to spread the virus, but you're using that as an excuse to stay with Robin. And then it just all came out, and it just went wild, and they were like, I was never happy, I was lying all those other seasons ago. And we're all the viewers like, what? It was portrayed as this works, this is fantastic, and now you're telling us we've been living a lie. He's a nightmare. Let me tell you about it. And it just went wild. And the last few series have just been wildness after wildness, with these women leaving one by one. So to bring you right up to date, we have his first wife, Mary. Him and her had a spiritual divorce. So they had a legal divorce so he could remarry Robin. But now they're not together at all. They've had a spiritual divorce, and she's moved to another state. And she is running a B&B. That used to be her mother's B&B, but I think she's running it more as an event space now. And her and Cody really haven't been in a relationship for the last 10 years because she was speaking online to this guy and it was a catfish situation. And she said, the only reason I spoke to this person is because I was so desperately lonely. He was at the other wives, he wasn't at mine. I was so lonely, I spoke to this person, and he counted it as cheating, Cody. So they really haven't been in a relationship for 10 years. She's gone, she's off. We then have Janelle. She was the second wife. Janelle, she's off. She's bought a piece of land. She's gone. She's off. We then have Christine. She's remarried. She's found the man of her dreams and remarried him, and all her kids love him and she loves his kids. She's off. Then we have Cody and Robin. Cody and Robin are still together. And all the other wives said that when Cody, apart from Mary, I don't really feel like she said it, but that when he met Robin, he met his soulmate. And that he forgot he had 3 other wives. And that's really what happened. It wasn't COVID. It wasn't the COVID rules. It wasn't anything. It was that when he married Robin, he decided he was going to live monogamy with Robin, and just the other 3 wives were going to stick around. He says no. He says, I'm shocked. I'm blindsided. I can't believe they've left me. I don't understand what's going on. That's Cody's perspective on the whole thing. Now, another thing, if you're going to watch this season, is they're going to mention Coyote Pass. So all the wives and Cody, they all together bought a piece of land called Coyote Pass. It's a huge piece of land, and the idea, Cody wanted to build one big house on it, and all the women would live there, and some of their kids would live there as well, and the women said no, we don't want to do that. So then they decided they were going to build individual houses on the piece of land, but for some reason Robin got more land, Mary got less land. It was a whole thing, but they all had to put their money into Coyote Pass. So now they are all not with Cody, apart from Robin. the money needs to be shared. The money needs to come out of Coyote Pass somehow. Christine sold her part of it to him, so she's out of the equation. But I believe Mary and Janelle, and then Cody and Robin, they all still own this piece of land that they need to sell, and they need to separate the money. It's been 20 seasons. There's a lot missing, but we're back. So at this point, Cody and Robin are living in monogamy. The other 3 wives, they've left. They're not with him anymore. Bye. They're off living their own lives. And that's what the series is now going forward. Whereas the series previously had obviously been about this weird thing of like, polygamy works and we're going to prove it to you, and look how close our children are, how beautiful this is. And then sometimes the adult children who had left home would reappear in the series, and they would talk about their lives, and they're having children now. Because when the series started, it was really a man living with his wives, and then small children. The wives were mothers to the small children. Now it is a man living with one woman, raising small children, and then the other wives are now grandmothers, and they're off doing their own thing. So there are completely different stages to him. So I just don't know how they ever thought it was going to work, to be honest with you. And I know people will say that, oh, maybe it does work for some people, but obviously if he's going to keep marrying younger, then he's going to keep having small kids. He's not going to be at the same stage as you. And if you have more and more kids, you're obviously not going to make it to everyone's birthday party and every grandchild's birthday party. So it's going to form resentment, and it's going to form you spent more time with them than you did me, just by the very nature of having so many children. Anyway, I'm going to react to the trailer now. I'm going to go and watch it on my TV, and then I'm going to come back. So go and watch it now. Watch it not together, because I don't want the copyright. I don't want my channel to be shut down because I've got 50 million videos on here. But you go and watch it. Pause the video. You go and watch it. I'll go and watch it, and then we will resume. Oh my God, the end of the trailer. They did him so dirty with that. He's doing like a evil cackle at the end. Why did they keep that in? Oh my God. So it seems Christine, happy, living her life. For some reason, she's going to cross paths with Cody, and her new husband is going to hang out with Cody. No idea why that's going on. We then have Janelle, who's going to get a spiritual divorce from Cody this season, it looks like. And then Cody's teasing, I've got an email from a woman who might want to marry another sister wife. There's that. No, I don't believe it. Maybe in 10 years time he'll get another sister wife, but I don't think anytime soon. And then you've got Mary speed dating, and it's about Coyote Pass. That's what this season's really going to be about, is this piece of land that Christine's no longer a part of, that it's Cody, Robin, Mary and Janelle all own. They've all put their money into this piece of land, and they need to work out how they're going to split the money. With Coyote Pass and everything like that, I just hope it doesn't dominate the whole season. Then they're going to have a showdown. So they had a scene and they said, this is the last showdown. And it's all them standing together on Coyote Pass. So then that'll be it. Christine's not there because obviously she's not involved in Coyote Pass anymore. And she's off living her own life. And then it looks like he's going on some kind of apology tour. He's saying, I'm sorry to Christine. And he's saying, I'm sorry to Janelle, in person, and Mary. So maybe this is his redemption. He's saying, I was confused and upset and angry about the divorces before, but now I'm sorry for the things that I said, because he said to Janelle that he'd never loved her, and that's what he said in the trailer. I'm sorry I said I never loved you. So maybe he's going to go back and say, I'm sorry for all these horrible things that I said to you, but we've got kids together. They're always going to be connected. That's the thing. Christine's saying, I really don't want to see Cody again, but you had children with him, and now those children are grown up and they have children, so you're going to see him at one of your grandchildren's parties, one of your kids' Christmas. You're going to run into each other at some point. I always love the Christmas episodes. They always kind of they don't get anything done in one episode, really. It's cliffhanger after cliffhanger. And so at Christmas, they always have to decide who are they going to go to Christmas with. Because Christmases were beautiful. They were all together, huge family occasions, stunning. And maybe I'm just romanticising it because I'm an only child, but I really did enjoy being an only child. I would hate to have that many siblings. But it just seemed like I don't know, Little House on a Prairie. There was something so cute about their Christmases with all these kids together. And they're all like similar ages. It's like having school, but in your house. Like, it's weird. They're all similar age to you because of his first 3 wives, all having kids at the same time. But then when the breakdown started to happen, he was having Christmas at Robin's. They were having Christmas separate, the women. And so I don't know what they're going to do for Christmas. I'm excited to see that. But I am excited for this season. I just really hope Katie Pass isn't going to kind of take over the whole series, and that's all we're going to be talking about the whole time. So I'm going to end this video here. The trailer was exciting. The end was frantic. The end was absolutely mad. Spiraled at the end. I don't even know what he was referring to. They've just taken it obviously completely out of context, put it in there. He's doing a mad cackle. Okay, welcome to the series. And then it's like, I'm sorry. But I don't know if he's actually gonna have any meaningful relationships with these women, because also they've moved on. They've moved states. Like, they're completely, one of them's remarried. Like, they're completely moved on from their lives. So it'll be an interesting series to watch. Last series was like this. It was really their separate lives. So instead of just watching one family, it's really just how they've moved on with their lives and what they're doing now. I'm going to end this video here, and I will see you again soon for another video.